live.
Cool. Evening, everyone. Hope we're doing all right. You're joining us for the FPL breakdown on the Hybrid Fans Forever show and channel. We're back. Obviously, we are back. So it's been a bit of a long few weeks, but we are back talking to FPL. Obviously, we'll look forward to the game week 31 that's coming up this weekend, or it's already would have started tonight with Bournemouth versus Man United. And yeah, we'll talk about our teams, talk about free hit chips, what players to bring in, or what players that you may have brought in already, or even if you've not done a free hit, you can talk about players you're going to bring in over the next couple of weeks, and then obviously we'll do our differential competition that I don't think any of us are winning at yet. So so that's going well. But obviously, just so you guys know, we are still doing the FPL show from next season. It's going to be completely revamped and different, so we'll be pushing that and hopefully get some big guests on, and that'll be something that me and Ravi are moving forward with. And talking about Ravi, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good, all good. It's been a good few weeks since we've been able to get this all organised, but I've been steadily climbing since we last spoke. It's been a few good back-to-back game weeks for me. So yeah, it kind of feels like I've just gone into hiding when my team wasn't doing too well, and now that it's doing all right, like I'm back again. But
Yeah, I've been all right. It's just like life's been a bit manic, so I kind of
yeah,
thought I'll do it, but last minute. So, but I've been finishing just above the average. So it's like I'm doing enough. It's like I'm a solid, like finishing the solid, like eighth, ninth position.
yeah.
Like couple of weeks. So it's obviously, I better not say it too loud. Spurs might want me in charge or something.
Yeah, God
But
forbid.
yeah. But obviously, for those watching, please subscribe to the Hybrid Fans Forever. Some really good shows on there. So yeah, we'll get into talking about how it's been recently. I kind of had to do a bit of dark arts, Ravi, to be honest.
Oh no.
For the last 4 weeks, I've captained Erling Haaland. Thinking, oh yeah, could it work? Could it work? And I had my Arsenal players on the bench, apart from Gabriel. Like I never dropped my Gabriel, so
Yeah.
so yeah, as an Arsenal fan, it's kind of worked because talking about Erling Haaland from an FPL point of view, what is it, 1 or 2 goals in a few game weeks? It's not
I
worth the price tag, is he?
I
At the
think
minute,
I think I saw somewhere where he's got 4 in his last 14 Premier League games.
I mean, for someone you're
Which
paying 15 million or 14
yeah,
million for, that's
yeah, it's expensive, and like we'll get into the teams and the transfers and all that we've made, but I've kind of had the same logic of you. Have gone like inevitably he's going to score, but also like if I keep captaining him and he doesn't score and Arsenal keep winning games,
yeah,
then I will take the
worth it.
sacrifice of my team.
um,
um, but yeah, I mean, um, I've finally gotten rid of him.
okay.
I've been debating it, and yeah, I've decided to pull the trigger this week. Obviously, we'll get into the teams and everything, but how are you feeling with the sort of like next couple of game weeks? With obviously like this being a blank game week, how are you feeling overall about all the fixture changes that are potentially coming up?
Yeah, right. I think I've kind of got to grips with it now. um, like part of me was praying, like so guys and everyone knows I did a free hit
Uh,
for this week. I just had to, and there wasn't really any other time I thought I was going to play it. And then I hit the free hit button yesterday, and then I was like, they was like, oh, but if Palace lose, that Palace City game could become 31. And I was like, oh shit, because I thought, that's really not what I need. And then luckily Palace won, so saved me a lot of problems. I'll be honest, mate. For the last 4 weeks, I've been going. I'll give him one more week. I'll give him one more week. Give him one more week of Haaland. And obviously, I'm not going to spoil too much, but obviously, he's not in my free hit team for obvious reasons. Because he's not playing. So, but the amount you can do and build with a team when you don't have Erling Haaland in its value is absolutely crazy. Like I what was I say? The 8 players I've got attacking element wise, like obviously you've seen it.
Yeah,
It's not a bad 8. Like, and we've just taken out that's taken out Haaland, and I've got 2 premiums in there with that as well.
yeah,
So
and I
it's
mean,
just crazy.
I always have the same sort of like team building logic of, you've got your sort of like super premium players in, Haaland and Salah, which I'd be surprised if anyone still had Salah in their team at this point.
No.
But getting rid of them, you can basically supercharge everything else in your team. And I kind of had the same thing where I've taken Haaland now. Like I didn't do the same thing as you with the free hit. I have been banking my transfers for the last few weeks, just to get to this point. And
Yeah.
then I've taken 3 players out. I managed to get 1 player on the bench out of what I've been left over with, which is
Mm.
fine by me. But I now have 9.3 million in the bank.
I feel I can't remember how much I've got. It's like 5 or something, but like I've rolled my transfers as well, apart from obviously now. But
Yeah,
but I had 4 before this. So technically, like, and I'm what in some of my leagues I'm about 40, 50 points behind. So I think fortune favours the brave, doesn't it, Rav? Like, so part of me's thinking, right, if I get 5 or 4 transfers, do I do I rip it up and go like just like a -4 or something and bring 5 or 6 players in that
yeah,
and then not have to, because it's sort of like a mini wildcard, isn't it? But I don't need to. I've still got my triple captain as well. Um,
yeah,
Problem is, I'm really bad at picking captains this season. So um, every time I pick one person, like so, I think I picked Cole Palmer against, what was it, Burnley or someone. And I thought, oh yeah,
yeah,
that's definite. No, didn't happen. Um, so, but I think I might back my own team. So like with Arsenal, like I think defensively going forward. So I might just stick it on Gabby, mate.
yeah. I
Like,
mean,
why
I would.
not? Like, if you're potentially getting between 6 to 9 points each time, that's
Yeah,
18 points. That's more than some attackers get you. So I just think,
yeah. I mean, I
and
think
people won't expect that, will they?
no. I mean, I think it's interesting with the way that people still look at defenders, and think, "Oh, I'm not going to captain a defender." But like you said, if he's getting, 6, 7, 8, 9 points every week, if a striker was getting that, he'd be captain every week. Like, how many times have we seen Haaland go on a goal scoring run and like of
Yeah,
just like one goal a game or something like that, and scoring 8, 9 points with that, and then everyone's got him as captain. If a defender's doing the same thing, you might as well captain them.
yeah. And I just think,
Um,
obviously, with the players now, so like for people that don't know, I had O'Reilly, Semenyo, and Haaland. So out of them 3, sorry, the only one I really probably want to keep is Semenyo, because I think he's probably the best attacking option at Man City at the moment.
yeah, I'd
Um,
agree with that.
but it's just it's so much you can do with your team. I just think when you mix that up, it's one of those things. Like the way he's been. The problem is the way he's been. I still think he'll get valued at that next season. When I don't think he should. Like, because he hasn't, the bulk of goals he scored were towards the start of the season. Like, but because if that's the case, they're going to put Thiago at something like 10 million. I don't think they will,
Yeah,
but
I mean, he kind of deserves to be, if we're
yeah, he
honest.
does. Like,
Next season, yeah.
yeah,
Um,
no, he
yeah,
does.
yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at the the lineups for Bournemouth versus United, given that the game's kicking off in just about 45 minutes or so, and just to make sure that no one's missing for us. So can take a look at both of our teams, which I
Yeah.
don't have screenshots for at the moment, but I can talk through it.
Yeah.
So for yourself,
Yeah.
you out of this game I'm just talking about, you've got James Hill and Bruno Fernandes, and
Yeah.
you'll be happy to know that both of them are starting this
Oh,
game.
well.
Well, to be fair, as is expected, I guess.
Yeah, I did
Um,
mean to take James Hill out and forgot.
he's been surprisingly very, very good.
Yeah.
And
It's the
I've been,
price value for me is like four, just over 4 mil. Like, it's
yeah,
a no-brainer, really. It's like another Senesi, isn't it?
yeah. For me, I looked at him and I said, like, and this was back when he was 3.8 million. And I was just
Yeah.
like, I don't know who this guy is. He's just probably covering someone for Bournemouth. I'm not going to bring him in. And then he's been scoring points every single week. And I'm just like, at some point, I'm just going to do it, but I just haven't got around to it yet.
I
But
don't,
for me,
just to tell you how much my finance has been. I actually took you and Timber out for James Hill. That's how much money that saved me. So I think it was like a couple of weeks ago. It was when we were conceding, not playing that well, and I thought,
yeah,
oh, and then obviously he scored against Chelsea, Timber, and I was like, oh, that's a bit of a mistake. But then it kind of a little bit paid in my favour, really, because obviously he went off, didn't he, last week?
yeah,
But I never like having the double Arsenal defence just because I think it gets wiped out so easily
yeah,
if they concede. But yeah, I think James Hill's done well. Like we normally see these FPL budget players, don't we? Like you go from some of the names you look at for FPL budget, Rav, it's like James Hill, Anton, is it Stack? Have I got saying
stack,
that
yeah,
one? Yeah. Obviously Harry Wilson, like he's got to be the best one out of them all, really.
yeah,
Um, I don't know what he is now, but I know he was just above 5 when I got him. 5.2.
yeah. I don't think he's changed too much from
Oh,
there,
he's six
actually.
million.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, apparently 6 million now. So that's a
That's
big,
crazy.
yes, a big jump. But then you look how many goals he scored, so it's not a surprise. Trying to think, even James Garner, I've not had him, but like the amount of points he's got, and so sometimes when you're actually breaking down the differentials, like some of these players, like obviously with DefCon has been drastically changed it, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and that's one of the things that I've tried to put into my team as much as possible in terms of like those DefCon players where you um like it's just an easy thing of just like some defenders are just gonna like they're just gonna block everything. Like James Tarkowski just like is a brick wall at times. But given Everton's defense, I just can't trust it.
Yeah.
We got the Essex Carpet Cleaning Company in the chat saying the game's already updated. It's not on my webpage, which is
Okay.
annoying to me. However, I am constantly refreshing this until it is, and then we can go and show both of our teams, and
Yeah.
go through everything in a bit more detail. But yeah, we
Cool.
will be showing the teams. Don't worry.
Yeah. Before we move on to our teams, obviously we'll look forward to the game week 31 that's going to be starting very soon.
Yeah,
A couple of players that are being spoke about being a lot of people, a lot of these FPL content creators that have been going on about who they would be bringing in. We've seen a lot of names like Bruno Fernandes and Anthony Gordon. I'll come to Fernandes first. He's a very interesting FPL player, isn't he, Ravi? Because obviously the DEFCON that he has, the attacking options that he has as well. It's. Do you think he's kind of a no-brainer for this week, especially with Arsenal and City players not being around.
Yeah, I think he's the obvious captain. And I think with the way that Carrick's come in as manager and basically just put him in the middle of everything, like everything goes through Fernandez, and it's just like he takes all their set pieces. He is the only one really capable in the United team of picking out a pass out of like nothing.
Yeah,
And as much as it pains me to say it, I do think he's going to break Thierry Henry's assist record this season.
yeah,
Um, but you know, like he is ever since he joins Man United, he's been the absolute dream midfielder because he's some like even if he's not playing well, he'll get an assist out of something or he'll get a penalty out of nowhere, and he's been showing ever since Carrick joined the team or well came in as interim manager that he's doing everything for this United team, and um, if you're not if you haven't got him in your team, that's a big mistake in my opinion. And I think this is the perfect week for pretty much everyone to have him as captain.
yeah. He came in for Semenya. I mean, they're just
Oh,
sneak
you've
preview.
only just put him in.
Yeah, yeah. No, I didn't have him before. I swore to myself I wouldn't do it because I didn't like him. But yeah. So but yeah, and then obviously moving on, Anthony Gordon. He's a
Yeah,
interesting one. Obviously we've seen how many goals he scored recently. Obviously in the Champions League, and he's kind of got to be the most main attacking threat. So we're seeing a lot of people bring them in for the Newcastle Sunderland game.
yeah.
Um, what's your thoughts on that? Like, do you think that's just obviously something you do because obviously the games that are not going ahead, like, or could you see people bringing him in to for a few weeks? And what's your thoughts as Gordon as an FPL asset?
Um, I think he's a really good player just in general. I think he's always a danger, um, in my opinion, for this Newcastle team. But he goes missing a lot in games, and I think he'll go through a little patch where he might score 5 goals across like 7, 8 games, and everyone will bring him into their team, and then he goes quiet for about 10 games. Um, so I think if he gets a little bit more consistency in his game, then you know almost everyone will have him as a lock in their team. But I think for me, he's a bit hot and cold at times. I think he from well, I didn't see the game against Barcelona, but by all accounts, even though they lost 7-2, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he scored. I'm pretty sure he's got a goal and assist out of the two
No,
two goals.
Alanga scored two,
Oh, Langer's scored two, but
but he set one up. Yeah,
yeah. Um, so I think he does get involved in play, and he did score last weekend. But for me, it's too much of a risk to have him like permanently in the team. Like if it's like a free hit, like you've done here, and you can trust the purple patch, I think it's great.
yeah. Um, but yeah, so obviously there's, I think obviously that we know that there's some players in FPL that you pick on a free hit. Does a free hit ever normally work? Yeah, sometimes. Like if I get over the average, I'll probably be happy with that, to be honest. But
Yeah.
it kind of gets you through. Like you think, what? How many game weeks we've got? Like 7 game weeks left. Um, you've got to. You don't want to be ending your season still having a chip, do you? Really?
No, no. And I think that's kind of like the cardinal sin of playing the game of like either waiting too late or not sort of like prepping in advance.
Yeah.
And I think so for me, I've not used any of my chips in the second half of this season yet. So I've still got my wild card. I've still got free hit, triple captain, and bench boost still. Um, so I've been quite disciplined in not being tempted to do it. Um, this week I was very tempted to take the free hit and just keep a lot of basically just keep all of my Arsenal and City assets.
Yeah.
Um, I've managed to sort of like be strong with my transfers and just not do anything for the last few weeks, just so that I've got enough to navigate me through this week. And for, like you said, like if I get the average or above, I'll be happy with that. Um, but I'm just hoping that like sacrificing the points over the last few weeks of potential transfers won't come and bite me, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Uh, because like I said with some of the transfers that I wanted to make, of maybe like Wan-Bissaka out and then get James Hill in, where James Hill has been scoring a bunch of points and Wan-Bissaka has not. Like maybe that's part of the thing that I could have done, but at this point, let's hope everyone that brought in this week can score some
yeah,
major points.
yeah. No, I get that. But obviously with that comes with the chip strategies. Kind of, what's your forward thinking with obviously that chip strategy? Have you thought that far ahead with other game weeks? Like, obviously, game week 32 will be straight after the international break, and that's
Yeah.
normally when people like to hit that wild card because you've kind of got an unlimited, obviously, option of who you're going to bring in. Is that something you're looking at?
Yeah, I've tended to do that, and I think this year, I think when the international break's over, it goes straight into the FA Cup weekend. Um, I'm pretty sure it does. Because I don't think Arsenal have another like Premier League match for like a good few weeks. So I think that will determine a lot of sort of what's going on, because we never know who's going to get an injury over the international break, and we never know who needs a rest or who's going to get that rest when they come back from internationals. So I do think there's an option there for me to do the wild card, if like, and that's if we get a sea of injuries over the internationals, maybe something happens in the FA Cup. But what I want to know when the FA Cup round goes is when the usual sort of like big double game week is, because that's where I'm sort of planning on saying, okay, let me do a wild card in 1 week, just so that in the following week I can use a bench boost and have basically everyone playing a double game week.
Yeah,
Uh, which is what I've done in previous years and scored some major points.
yeah,
And that's kind of what I'm leaning towards at the moment, especially with usually when they do that big game week, the next one or the one before is a blank one. So like for me, I'll just end up doing like a free hit that week, um, just so that I've got like a full team of players playing that one. So that tends to be why I save all my transfers. But I just don't, like, you never know, like all the like big teams might go out um of the FA Cup when they come back from internationals. So the bench boost might not look like you want it to, especially if you like wild card, so that or you can make use of the like double game weeks. And if there's no big players in there that you want, like say like Gabrielle or anyone like that, then you feel like you're missing out a little bit.
yeah. With the FA Cup, I think you got to think of as well is obviously Liverpool have got City, so obviously one of
Yeah.
them will be out. Chelsea have got Port Vale. You never know. uh,
Yes.
but you
Where
probably
Chelsea are
expect,
going, you never know.
yeah, you'd probably it depends if they respect the ball. But
And get that
you
huddle
did,
just right.
yeah, you'd expect Chelsea to win that, and so we can see encouraging signs, as Jason Cunley would say. Um, and then obviously we've got Southampton, Leeds have got West Ham, so obviously it's going to be a double game week. It might not be as big as we once thought, but I do agree with that. I think, but do you think obviously having these 5 free transfers kind of affects people's thinking with wild cards and when to do it? Because if you actually look at it, obviously you've got the wild card is great, but if you actually really build up your transfers and to say you was really really brave, you could even take a -8, and that brings you in 7 players that can completely change your squad. But if the players you're bringing in score you big, then that -8 is completely wiped, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think I've never been one for the minus points.
Yeah,
I've always I've always said like I'm only going to take a minus hit if the player is just not playing or is just going to be injured. Because like say for example, someone breaks their leg and they're out for the rest of the season. There's no point having them in the team. And if the person you're going to bring in, you reckon is going to score the 4 or more points that you've taken, then it's worth it. Like say for example, you bring someone in that could be a big defensive contribution like
yeah,
player. They get 2 points for playing, they get 2 points for defensive contributions. That's the 4 points made up. Anything else on top of that is just a bonus. So that's the only times where I've ever really done the minus hits. But I do agree with you with the 5 transfers. You can kind of do whatever you want. You just have
sure.
to be disciplined to like keep keep at it. Like what it's done for me is like a lot of game weeks in previous years, I've never really felt like making a transfer, but because I had 2 transfers saved up, I was like, well, I have to do one because otherwise I lose the privilege of doing it.
Yeah,
So it's kind of been like it's kind of been a blessing for me where I can just like stack up a few of these transfers like I've done this week and
yeah,
just be able to um just be able to navigate this game week. And the game is still down um, online, but I have got the screenshots. So let's take a look at our teams.
yeah.
I
Well, do
believe I've got
yours
your one.
first. Do you want to do yours first?
Yeah, I'll do mine first.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's
So
move
this is Ravi's team.
to
For
here.
those
Yeah.
watching.
So let me just get rid of this little banner at the bottom so everyone can see my subs. And bear with me because I am still getting used to hosting this. Um, anyway, well, to be fair, no one on my bench is really playing, so you don't actually you don't actually need to know. So for me, I've got Dubravka in goal, a back three of Wan-Bissaka, Tiao, Dalot. I've got a midfield 4 starting with Bruno Fernandes as captain, Soboslai, Ryan from Bournemouth, and Harry Wilson from Fulham. Up front, Igor Thiago, Hugo Ekitike, and Junior Krupi from Bournemouth.
You got a lot. You got quite a few in that first game, haven't
I do, yeah. And like
you?
as I was looking at the teams just now, I've realised that Junior Krupi, who I've started and who I've accidentally left as my vice captain, is on the bench. So I'm hoping Fernandez does something. So I know that he's not going to be needed as vice captain, but
Yeah,
at the same point, it's it it's it's one of those where I just thought Junior Krupi, he's like less than 5 million. He comes off the bench every now and again. I think I saw somewhere he's got the lowest minutes per goals ratio out of any player in the league. So even though he doesn't have a lot of minutes, he does score every now and again. So I just thought, let's just have him in. If I need him off the bench, he comes off the bench. Um, and it kind of lets me navigate what I want to do.
yeah,
At this point, though, now that I don't have Haaland in the team, because let me just talk you through my transfers.
yeah,
I took out Haaland, Semenyo, and O'Reilly
yeah,
and brought in Tiao from Newcastle,
yeah,
Soboslai from Liverpool, and Igor Thiago from Brentford. Um, I've been sort of like hit and miss with Igor Thiago. Like I've always brought him in when he stopped scoring, and then when I take him out, he starts scoring again. So watch him not score against Leeds. Um, but yeah, I just thought let me use my 3 transfers to get a squad together. If Krupi doesn't play, I've got Van Hecker on my bench who's playing Liverpool at home, and I was
yeah,
like, well, I don't really fancy starting someone that's got Liverpool at home.
yeah.
So if Krupi doesn't play, then I've got someone that will play, but the preference is Krupi comes off the bench, scores a hat trick against United. Um, but we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think it will, but unless it's 5-3. It could be a good game actually tonight. Like I think both teams are in good form. Both teams attacking. Obviously, Bournemouth still an outside chance of Europe, I would say.
Yeah,
So obviously there's a lot to play for. Man United want to consolidate that top four, top four position. So yeah, obviously the person in the chat watching, drop your team as well, so then we can kind of go through that. But yeah, the Bravkan goal's the interesting one for me because
Y-
against Fulham.
yeah. I mean, for me, it's I've had the same two goalkeepers since game week one. David Raya in goal, Dubravka on the bench because he's a £4 million goalkeeper, and um, that's basically, and he's going to play every game. So for me, I had no interest in having anyone else really because I just thought David Raya's going to play every single game. Arsenal keep a lot of
Yeah,
clean sheets, which, well, to be fair, we used to.
yeah,
Not so much, not so much anymore. Um, but then Dubravka, if I need him, he can play. What I usually do and what my preference tends to be is having two goalkeepers in and around the 4.5 mark, and
yeah,
then looking at who's got a harder, like looking at that when their harder games are, and making sure that the other one's got a relatively decent fixture on that week, and then throughout the rest of the season, just pick whichever one's got the better game. Um, but this year, I just thought, let me go with the sort of like set and forget kind of mentality with goalkeepers, and just get someone in who I know is going to play every game, which is David Raya. And I think he is the top scoring goalkeeper in the league this year,
yeah,
just by virtue of keeping so many clean sheets. But he doesn't get that many save points because Arsenal don't concede a lot of shots. Um, but yeah, I just think for me, I'll probably, when I do my wild card, free up that spot in my team of the three Arsenal players. I've got Gabriel and Rice on the bench as well, but I'll probably free that up. Maybe get another Arsenal defender in. Maybe get someone like Havertz or Gyökeres, depending on injuries and who might start a bit more and who's on a bit more of goal scoring run. Um, and kind of operate on that logic and just go with the two 4.5 mil goalkeepers again. Just because I definitely feel more comfortable with my team by doing that.
yeah. Obviously, the person in the chat said 292 in the world. I need you on here. You're better than that, better than both of
Yeah,
us.
honestly, you're like
A lot better than us.
that
So
is crazy.
yeah, so well done with that.
Well done.
Obviously, we'll go through my free hit team now.
Yeah, let me get that on screen, and there we go. Cool. So you've gone with Keller in goal from Brentford, a back three of Chiao, Hill, and Anderson. A midfield four of Soboslai, Cole Palmer, Bruno Fernandes, and Harry Wilson. And then up front, Ekatike, Joao Pedro, and Igor Thiago.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who's on my bench.
You've got Dubravka in goal on your bench, Gordon, Mukiele, and then Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, see, Van Dijk was meant to come in for Hill, but that just didn't happen, so that was
Yeah,
pointless. But what I'm thinking is that because I know in my luck, I don't think everyone there's a bit of rumor that Pedro might not play. So if
yeah.
that's the case, then obviously Gordon can come in. Um, I went with Kelleher because I think he's been really good. Like he's been my
I, re- I
goalkeeper for the last
I
few
really
weeks.
like him. Yeah, I really like
He's
him.
been my goalkeeper the last few weeks. He's gone up a couple like thousand as well. So obviously I've got the money with that. I captain Bruno Fernandes. Harry Wilson, I just like if there's a chance he plays against Burnley, I think he bags there. Ekatike is on his last chance because I brought him in the other week when just off the back of his double,
Yeah,
and then he didn't play. So and Thiago, you know what you're getting with Thiago. So
Yeah,
and with people might think, oh, why you got Palmer? Palmer's that sort of player that if you don't have him and he returns, you're like thinking, oh, like kicking yourself. But he's
yeah.
the sort of person that could go to Everton away and grab a couple of goals.
He's such a weird player this season.
Yeah,
Like obviously last season where he was, I think you valued at like 5 million at the start of the season, and then ended up being like the top like scorer in the game apart from Salah. Um, it's one of those where I think people get FOMO with Cole Palmer because when he does
yeah.
score, he gets massive scores. I think he might have like two of the top six scoring
I
like
had
game weeks this
him.
season or something like that.
I had him on captain when he scored 4. Um,
Explains why you're about 50 points ahead of
yeah,
me.
yeah. So I had that, and then I was like, he got injured, didn't he? Not long after that, and I was like, oh, I'll get rid of him. And then I kept in him for ages, like, and I thought, because I thought when they played us, I thought, oh, he's the sort of person who's going to score. Um,
Mm,
it's a Chelsea pin, mate, though, because Palmer and Pedro do it to me. Like
yeah,
Pedro's the one of the worst. You think, oh, he's not even that good, but he brings you points all the time. Like he'll towards the end of a game, he'll get a penalty or grab a consolation goal, and you think, oh, I wanted to get rid of you, mate, and then you can't. So it's just, but yeah, so I think it's just a Chelsea thing, and like there wasn't really anyone else from Chelsea I was looking at. Might have been Enzo, but I wasn't really feeling that. So it was either Palmer and Pedro for me.
yeah,
Um, Ekatike is just trying to find someone who I think could get some goals at Brighton, really. And who was it? And obviously Sabozlai was a replacement for Florian Wirtz
yeah,
because I know what will probably happen now, but um, but I
yeah,
just think Dominic Sabozlai is probably someone like what I try to do is look after this when I've done a free hit, look to see how many of those players I'd want in my team like normally,
yeah,
and Dominic Sabozlai is one of those. I just think Liverpool options is probably the best one going forward, really.
yeah,
I think Van Dijk I just brought in because I had 9 million. I was like, oh, I've got to do something with it. But it'll probably like normally what will happen is Van Dijk will get a goal and a clean sheet on the weekend now. So then I'll miss out on like loads of points. But it is what it is. Like it's just a lottery. Like with a free hit, like it was about having fun really. So that's not a team. I didn't really think strategically. I just thought, oh, just go that one, that one, that one, that one. So. I honestly didn't think about it strategically, but I just couldn't look at a team without Thiago and Wilson. Thiago and Wilson, but Harry Wilson's been in it since week 2, week 3, and Thiago's not been that much longer. So you have your favourites, don't you? Like so, like Kelleher, and I think Brentford have had a very strong season. I don't think they're spoke about enough.
yeah. I agree with you. I completely agree with you here. Like, I think I've always been impressed with Brentford. I've always had a soft spot for them. And they're you know 4 points off Liverpool.
Especially if you think Keith Andrews, everyone was like, "Oh, he's taking them down."
Everyone thought they were going to get relegated this season. I
Yeah,
thought, do
like,
you know what?
including myself. I was like, "That's a very risky appointment," and it's worked for him. Like I think for Igor Thiago had injury problems. He was actually Ivan Toney's replacement. So you can imagine, like obviously now they've got what's he scored 20? Is it
I
19
think
goals?
19 is scored. Yeah,
Yeah. So like I think he's a very, very good player. And I think it's going to be a tricky one next season for FPL with prices. I know we thought it was bad this season, but yeah, there's some really good players out there that probably deserve a price rise. And it's controversial. I think people like Saka and Palmer deserve a price drop. Personally, I don't think they've been good enough for their price value.
Well, I think especially with defensive contributions coming in, and this is the big one for me. Like, I think players like Declan Rice are way more appealing because they get involved in a lot of the action, and like with Declan Rice taking corners as well, like Saka,
Yeah,
you're probably going to be looking at like having him in the team, especially if like even if both of them were priced the same, I'd probably go with Declan Rice
yeah,
anyway,
I agree.
um, over over Saka. Which, like you said that 2 seasons ago, and people would be looking at you like you had two heads.
Well, I remember when I had Declan Rice when he first signed for us, he was 5 million,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And like it wouldn't
and he was
surprise me if
4.5 when he was at West Ham.
yeah, it's mad.
So
Like
yeah,
it's one of those things where you look at it and you probably think next season you'll have someone like um Declan Rice being in and around the 10 million mark, maybe the 8.5, 9 million if we're lucky. And then you're probably going to see Saka in and around the same, and
yeah.
then watch Saka come out like have a pretty decent season. So
The one that could actually blow it out the water and be really because he's not done as well as everyone thought he was, but he's done well enough. If you ended up with Victor Gyökeres between the 7 and 8 million mark, you'd be absolutely laughing.
yeah,
Personally, like especially next season, if we obviously if Arsenal do win the league, and I think they play more fluid football. Also, it depends who Arsenal's if they sign anyone in the summer,
yeah,
but um, I think it's going to be hard because obviously you're seeing Gabby, Saliba, Timber all at 6. That could be a defence that goes and wins loads of trophies or wins the league. So they're only going to go up. They're not going to go down. So, um, but what you might see is if they don't have a very good season, is teams like Liverpool. You
yeah,
take say Mo Salah leaves, you take him out of the game. That's a lot of money that you've saved. Um, Not saying people are picking Salah, but what my point is it's still a lot of money that's in the game. It's going to be interesting. And I think you're bang on like with people like Declan Rice. Like he could be Arsenal's highest like next season from an FPL price. He could be that highest player because of everything that he does. He's got depth on. He sets goals up. He scores. He's like the Bruno Fernandes, isn't he, in the FPL? Like everything
yeah.
goes through him. Obviously he's better than Bruno, but we all know that. But yeah, I just think it's interesting, mate. Like I just think I've always said this. I always think that in the next few years, the price, like you get your 100 million, don't you?
Yeah.
I think they'll increase that because I think they have to.
See, I don't think they will. And for me, I wouldn't necessarily want them to. I do
No.
quite like the fact that we are constrained and like what I enjoy the most about a new season is seeing all the prices and then all of a sudden trying to figure out how on earth am I going to get all the players that did well last season in here. And I think that's
Yeah.
the kind of trap that they do is that they kind of bring you into like say, oh, Cole Palmer had a really good season last year, then we put 10 mil on him. Or,
Yeah.
Florian Wirtz is a big signing at Liverpool. He's going to be getting the points, not Salah. And
Yeah.
then, he ended up just not doing much. So, oh wow, he took a while to settle in more than anything else.
What I like
Same,
is that it takes you away from the template.
yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
very hard to do the template. Like a lot of people, template would be Saka, Palmer, Salah, or Haaland. Like you
yeah,
say, they're your 4 premiums, but you're very, very lucky if you can even get 2 of them in.
yeah.
Like, but that's because of Haaland, though, mate. Like I took Haaland out, and I've managed to get Bruno Fernandes, Cole Palmer, and Ekatike, and people like Ekatike and all that
Yeah,
in a team.
yeah. It's crazy because like I said, like I have 9.3 million to spend
Yeah,
next game week. And honestly, who knows? Who knows what I can do with that?
No.
So it's just one of those where I I reckon, I've got some good options in my squad. I just think, I like what can I do with that if game week 33, what is it? Are we at 30
Yeah.
now or 31? It's 31
31
now, isn't it?
now.
Yeah, it's 31 now. So for game week 32, which is 10th of April in what 3 weeks, um, we can I can probably look at that and say if game week 33 is going to be a double game week, then
Yeah.
let's just wild card the living daylights out of this, and
Yeah.
I've got money to burn.
Yeah. Let's start calling you Top Bowler.
Well, it's like I was looking at my
Make sure they don't give you a transfer ban on FPL. They're
oh
suspended
God,
for a
can
year.
you imagine? Because I was looking at my total value of the squad because obviously like price changes go in and out,
Yeah.
like up and down, and my squad value in terms of like what they are valued at and what I've got left in the bank is now 102 million.
Yeah.
So
Mine was 101 points, I think.
yeah, and like for me, that additional 2 mil will help fund basically someone that's like a 7 million like option that I'm kind of settling for to a player that is 9 million, and that is just like yes, that's someone that I'm just gonna have in my squad, or even a 4.5 mil defender. I can then get a 5.5 like two 5.5 mil defenders, and then really start to get that like premium effect in my squad for the last stretch of the season.
Yeah. But because obviously, right, we're going to start doing obviously this again, aren't we, next season and
Yeah,
changing it up a bit. I reckon what we should try and do is if we do a league, we should put a team for the podcasting. But it's got you can't you can't have Haaland. I want to see it and see how it does.
yeah, and maybe we do a little mini draft
Yeah,
thing next year as well. Like
yeah, that'd be
I've
good.
always been quite big on the draft one. Like
I've never
this
done it.
this is probably the first year in 3-4 years that I've not played it.
Okay.
Um, it just so happened that in around like just before the season started, like none of my mates, none of my cousins were around to like pick a day
Yeah,
and just get it done. So
yeah, that could be a good one actually.
yeah,
But yeah, 'cause, like, even next season, I might even do it for a bit of fun. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you hate it when you don't have someone like Haaland, and there's like there's two, there's another two. All right, here we go.
yeah,
But how much fun and how much stress it takes away from it when you just do it for fun. Like, and I think that's what guys you need to remember. Like, FPL is just fun. If it's starting to stress you out, then just step back a little bit. Like, and I've been there. Like, I've been like listening to like 7, 8 different podcasts every week. And it's the worst thing you can do. It's the worst thing you can do because you think you get a decision stuck in your head rather than you're like, oh yeah, I'll just see what he says, and then they go completely against what you said, and then you're like, oh, I
yeah,
don't know,
and
should I do that? But it's their job, like it's content creators, aren't they?
yeah.
So, but
I
yeah,
mean, hey, we're doing the same thing.
yeah, exactly. So do you know what I mean?
um,
So don't listen
um,
to them.
but like again, for me, it's just like as you said, the game is fun. It's a game more than anything else. Like it's not the most important thing.
No.
Um, like just enjoy it. Like, and that's kind of what it's there for. Like, have fun with your mates. Do a little forfeit if that's the kind of thing that you're into with like challenges with it. You know, I've seen some of my mates be in groups where people pitch in some money and the winner gets a little pot of money.
Yeah,
Um, so just do whatever works for you. To whoever's
well, you could
to
do what I
basically
do.
everyone's
That's like my hatred of Tottenham. I won't pick a Tottenham player. Like,
yeah,
and so when Van der Ven was getting 15 points in defence, I was like, oh, well, shit happens, isn't it? When
yeah,
Harry Kane was banning in goals left, right, and centre, missed out on hundreds of points.
yeah.
Hundreds. I just would not pick him. I think I chose Mikel Antonio over him. and that only come off once. I think it come off once against Norwich when I triple captained him when he scored 4.
Mad.
That was the only captain points I got that season. So,
Yeah, no, because it's even like my sister, for example, like she has like convinced herself that her team is cursed and that everyone in this team just doesn't do well. So by proxy, this season she said, I'm not picking a single Arsenal player this whole season. Which means she is about 140 points behind me, but we're looking good for the league.
yeah, exactly. So minor
So
details.
really, who's the winner there?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I
Cool.
mean, I had this. I'm not sure if I mentioned this last one. I looked back at my team's performance this year, like literally every game week, because I was like, every week, I've got major points on my bench. 4 times this season, I've had more than 20 points on my bench. It's ridiculous. Like my bench is the cursed place. Like whoever's on my bench will score points. Like, I've got 3 players on my bench this week who are not playing. Watch them score points.
Yeah. Mate, I'm already waiting for Van Dijk to score hat trick. Van Dijk, Gordon, and all my 11 will play and get 1 point each or something. I have like 50 odd points on the bench or something like that. Yeah. But that's just the fun of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, just we will be doing some new stuff like next season. We've got some good ideas as you've just briefly heard. Me and Ravi will chat, see what sort of giveaways and all that we can do. To like
Yeah.
what Liam does with his, we can match up with that. And we can do some challenges and maybe there'll be some stuff between me and Ravi as well that we can do. So be like Sutton and Bruce Ball or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
Or
be Sutton.
even have a little mini head-to-head league. See who comes out on
Yeah,
top.
yeah. And then we'll work out a prize at the end. But yeah, we'll have leagues and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, cool. Just before we finish, we'll go on to the differential,
Yep.
what we do. So how this works for people watching or people who are going to watch back. Um, we pick a player that's under the 10%. And I might get this wrong because I am doing it off the top of my head because I've not looked, if I'm honest. But what we're going to do something different this week because I've not looked, just being honest, and I'm sure Ravi's not able to access it. We're going to pick
No, I
someone.
can't see it. I can't see it now.
Oh, you can. Okay,
Okay.
so
I've got it filtered by team selected by percentage. So yeah, name
okay,
your player
so
and I'll see if they're under the
if I
10%.
name a player who's in the differential, if it's Ron, I'll pick another one. So
Yeah.
all right, I haven't actually got one yet, so I'll let you go first, Ravi. So
I'm
after
gonna go.
building that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with one of the players on my team actually, who is I've just had a look, 1.9% selected. So that's a very big differential there.
Yeah,
And that's Ryan from Bournemouth.
good shout.
I've been really impressed with him since he's coming to the Premier League.
Is he
I know
starting?
he is starting against
Oh,
United, yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Um, I've been really impressed with him since he joined. Like I'm also a big football manager player,
Yeah.
and in the latest game, he was like the wonder kid. So I picked him up for my Arsenal team, and he did really well for me. So when I heard that Bournemouth were interested in him, I was like, they've done it again. They've found a little gem, and
Yeah.
he's been doing really well for them actually. I think if we look at his points,
Two.
he
Yeah.
has played 1, 2, 3, 4. No, he's played more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, and got 30 points out of those 7 games. I think he's got 2 goals and 1 assist so far, which isn't bad for an 18-year-old coming from Brazil midway through the season. So I'm backing him to score something today.
Cool. So mine could go horribly wrong,
Go
but
on.
as people know, I don't like Tottenham. I don't like them at all. Obviously, they've got a big 6-pointer coming up. Good team, Nottingham Forest, as Jamie
Yeah,
O'Hara would say. Good team. Um, I'm going to put my neck on the block. I'm going to go Murillo. But I don't know if he's in under the 10%.
he is, and
Okay.
weirdly, only 2.3% selected, which feels
Right.
really low.
Then there's another point to this. I own Murillo a lot, like because
Yeah,
he done a very good block against Manchester City. So
yeah. Honestly,
so it's a
invite him to
very
the parade if we get there.
yeah, like mate, he should be on the bus. Like to be honest, let him drive the bus.
Same for Mavropanos, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah, like that was a legendary move. Sell him just for him to do that. It's good. Um, the reason I'm saying that as well because I think Murillo's got DEFCON as well.
Yeah,
He can get a goal. He's playing Spurs. He's a cult hero. Why not? So um, it could be a very low scoring round this. So unless your guy scores again tonight, so we'll see.
yeah. I'm
So
hoping. Yeah, I'm really hoping he does because I think like I've been really impressed with him, even when I've seen him on Match of the Day.
yeah,
Um,
good player.
he's been really, really good.
Yeah. So that is our George versus Ravi differential. Um, so yeah. Yeah, don't worry, guys. It will get better than that. We'll mix it up a bit, but obviously, just to finish up, Ravi, I know it's an FPL show, but we're
Yeah,
both Gooners. Obviously, got the Carabao Cup final on Sunday. How you
yeah.
feeling about it?
Nervous.
Yeah.
For me, and I've always said this. Like I've heard a lot of Arsenal fans complain, saying, "Oh, it's only the Carabao Cup, all this and all that." Right? On two things for me. One, the last time Arsenal won this trophy was 1993, and so I've never seen Arsenal win the league win the Carabao Cup in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And two, I'm not going to turn my nose up at a trophy at any trophy, um,
Okay.
because it's a privilege to win a trophy, and we can't forget that. Like we look at Palace last year, they won the FA Cup for the first time. Look how much it meant to them,
Yeah.
and it's a springboard to success. How many times have we seen Man City win the Carabao Cup and then go on to kind of win something else
That's
or
what I
win?
think people forget. Like, if you actually go back to what was the one of the first trophies that Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp won, it was this.
Yeah, yeah, and it spurred on them to win future trophies. So I'll
Yeah.
never turn my nose up at another trophy, or well, even one that we've never ever won. So yeah, for me, it's a no brainer. I want to win it, and I'm nervous.
Yeah, I'm quite nervous. I'm seeing a lot of people saying they're confident, and that worries me a little bit. But but I think if you see how we're playing this season, if we play how we sometimes play in Europe
Yeah,
and how Man City playing, I think we've got enough.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's game by game for me. Like a cup final, you just never know. So fingers crossed. Obviously, Arsenal can get the job done. Just want to say thank you to the person that was in the chat. Really appreciate that. Obviously, we've had a few weeks away. It's been a bit up and down with stuff, but obviously we're going to try and get some more content out. And but obviously from next season it'll be a lot more regular,
Yeah,
a lot more newer stuff. You may even get be able to follow how we're doing like through challenges and stuff, and we want to try and get some more people on. So that'd be good as well. Just remember, please subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps. Just want to say thank you, Ravi, for tonight. It's been a good one.
absolutely. Thanks for bringing me on board. Really,
Yeah,
and yeah, great to talk FPL with you.
cool. So yeah, we will be back hopefully soon. And just remember, good luck with your teams this weekend. And hopefully Arsenal can lift the Carabao Cup. Good night, everyone.
So yeah.
Bye.